boys and girls, it's Authortube and this is day 7 of Vlogmas. So I have been combing through Donne's, I hope that's how I pronounce her name. I don't actually know. I've been combing through her videos, and she did this cute little YouTube boot camp, Authortube boot camp thing, and I figure why the hell not. I will, for the purpose of Vlogmas, I will go through and actually do some of her suggestions. Why not? Today I am doing the Authortube Newbie tag. How did you find out about Authortube? If I'm being honest, I think I was involved in Authortube before I knew it was called that. I have been a long-time follower of Jenna Morosi, and I got a hold of her videos because I wanted to become a better writer. I have been doing NaNoWriMo for a good 10 years now, and I wanted to know how to make my stories better, and she was a really good source of information. Lately she has been doing the not a single F was given that day sort of attitude, which I super appreciate. What genres do you write in? I write mostly supernatural horror and drama and thriller, I guess. My current project, however, is more of a cyberpunk story. I'm gonna be honest, alright? I am an avid role player. My books are based off of the Mage the Ascension system, which is super broad. Like, I love the way it treats magic, and I love the way how incredibly broad that system encompasses. It's just, if you can think of it, it fits in the system. It's great. So my Damned Hitman stuff is hermetic, and my cyberpunk story is technically a virtual adept prelude. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? I try to keep it in past tense. That was a problem I used to super have, and then I joined an RP group this past year where we consistently wrote in past tense, and it has changed the way that I write in general. I just consistently write in past tense if I can. And the way that I kind of keep my notes separate from my actual story is my notes are always in present tense, and my actual story is always in past tense. My favorite point of view is in first person. I know this is a super amateur move, but I'm a role player. What do you want from me? One of these days I'm gonna try third person omnipotent. I feel like if I'm going for word count, that is definitely the way to do it. You have a much longer story if you have, you know, if you're looking into the brains of everybody in the room, right? Are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plancer? I think that I am a plancer. I do a rough outline that encompasses all the aspects of a story that should make it an actual story. I came up with this like whole system so that it actually, I hit all of the milestones of a story, and I'm trying to make it work. And then I just kind of wing it. Really, I have like these main points, and then I wing how I'm gonna get from point A to point B. Are you self-published, published, or have yet to be published? I think I had some poetry that was published when I was a teenager, but currently I am yet to be published as far as my literary stuff goes. However, my goal this year is actually to run through and super edit my cyberpunk story, which I've been like working real hard on this past November. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you are not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? As I intend on self-publishing, I don't know. I don't think those things technically apply to me. What Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? I guess I could do some vlogs about my writing projects and stuff like that, and then if I feel like I know what the heck I'm talking about, I can actually do some listicles and, you know, tips and tricks and stuff like that. But really, I would just be regurgitating the kind of stuff that Alex Donne and Jenna Morossi, K.M. Weiland, etc., etc. And, you know, I don't know that I need to just parrot what they say. When did you start writing? I technically started writing when I was in grade school. I went to a special, like, smart kid school, kind of like a governor's school, and we wrote books. That was a thing we did. I started writing for myself when I was in middle school, and it was very much so kind of regurgitating the kind of dreams I was having at the time. I was just writing it in a narrative. Then I started writing fiction, like stuff that I haven't seen or like in my dreams or anything like that. And as I mentioned before, I've been doing nano, which means I've been trying to write a novel technically longer than that. I tried when I was in high school to do a chain story that was a novel. It turned more into like a novella, and it never had an ending, but we didn't understand structure or anything like that. I tried again when I was in my 20s with a project I called Red Snow, which I might try again. I might dig that notebook out and like re-outline it, and that was my first attempt at an outline. It was extremely rough outline. Like I made it like to the midpoint. What I assume was the midpoint. Again, I didn't know structure. I had no idea where to take the story, but I suspect that I could figure it out. I think I could. What was the first story you ever wrote? I really have to think about that because, like I said, I've been writing books and stuff like that since I was in grade school. The first book that I finished is actually this thing that I did this past November. Like, that is the first time I've been able to write the end. I guess if I'm being honest, the first story that I have written to completion is Hope's Chest. What authors have inspired your writing the most? Nancy Collins, Stephen King, Laurel K. Hamilton. Yeah, those were my top three. I am going to note that it is Nancy Collins and Laurel K. Hamilton's early work. The Anita Blake series up to like book 6 and Sunglasses After Dark by Nancy Collins. I did read one of the White Wolf books that Nancy Collins did, and she tried to like merge her universe with the White Wolf universe, and it sort of worked. Sort of. Do you schedule your writing time, or do you just write whenever you have time? A little of column A and a little of column B. It depends on what I am prioritizing at the time. November is super, I am writing come hell or high water time. I try to do Camp Nano as well. I was a big fan of Script Frenzy, and I'm still doing the Camp Nano thing in April sometimes. I try. And then I've got July. Sometimes I do August, but not often. Because I go off to war, and I could write by hand, I guess. Otherwise, I am writing whenever I happen to get bit by the bug. They say not to wait for inspiration to hit, to write. I'm a somewhat creative person who gets inspired somewhat frequently, so there are times where I will write a thing just because I wanna. Do you type on a computer, a typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? When it comes to like NaNoWriMo, I write with whatever the hell I can get my hands. I learned how to type on a typewriter, technically speaking, on a manual typewriter. I got gifted a typewriter-esque keyboard for Christmas one year. That has become my NaNoWriMo, I am going to write for hours at a time keyboard. It drives my husband batty because it's very clickety-clackety, and I find it extremely satisfying, and it's very motivating for me, but it just like, he's very much so into the silent keyboard action. Where do I write? I usually write in my studio, but depending on what I'm writing and when I'm writing it. Oh, it's really good. I'm writing it on my phone in Google Drive. That is something that I kind of experimented with my zombie script. It worked out really well. It worked out really well. It's been carrying me a good 4 or 5 years now to do things via my phone. While I'm in the car, while I'm waiting in line, while I'm sitting on the pot. I write pretty much everywhere and anywhere my phone goes with me. What are you most looking forward to now that you are part of Authortube? I guess I am looking forward to actually connecting with these authors that I've been stalking for the past 5 years. Just becoming part of the community and kind of giving back a little bit, because these people really influenced me and I kind of feel like I should pay it forward. That was my Authortube Newbie tag. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. No, this way. Yeah, this way. And if you would like to subscribe and get notifications and stuff like that for the rest of the stuff that I'm doing for Vlogmas, go ahead and ring that bell, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.